Okay, Unit 1, Rational Expressions and Equations from long, long ago. The first problem here is just a multiplication problem. Remember, you want to factor as much as you can to see if you can cancel anything. So I'm going to factor my trinomial and this little binomial in this second fraction first. So the first fraction is going to stay the same. And we'll multiply that guy here. So z squared plus 3z plus 2, z plus 2, z plus 1, and z squared plus 3z, I can GCF out a z. Don't get too cancel happy here. We can cancel the z plus 1s. We can cancel one of the z's. So my final answer is z times z plus 2 all over z plus 3. All right, moving on to number 2. Get this guy out of the way. In order to find a sum, we need a common denominator, but we always want to try to factor first so that we can do as little work as possible. So our first fraction, nothing factors. We're just going to bring it down. In our second fraction, we have a difference of squares. So I have a plus 8, a minus 8. So my first fraction has that a plus 8, but it doesn't have the a minus 8. And that's what we need to simplify these in order to add them together. So we're going to do a fancy form of 1 with this first fraction, with our a plus 8s. I'm sorry, with our a minus 8s. And we need to make sure we multiply our 7 by both of these, not just by the negative 8. So I'm going to have a 7a minus 56. I'm going to go ahead and write my plus 9 there. And then in my denominator, I have that a plus 8, a minus 8. And our last step is to combine our like terms. Negative 56 plus 9 is negative 47. I like to leave the denominator in factored form. And that's how you would see it on the exam as well. Of course, you could always multiply that out if you needed to. We'll do a couple more simplification problems on this video. This division problem works similarly to the first problem that we did. You can either flip the second fraction first, or you can factor first. I think I'll flip it so I have everything in the place that it needs to be. So my first fraction is going to stay the same. My second fraction is going to flip. So a cubed over a plus 3 is going to stay the same. I'm going to go ahead and flip that second fraction, and then I'll work with it. Again, some factoring. Nothing to factor in the first fraction. And if it helps you to put those in parentheses, you can. This is all multiplication across, so really you can just parentheses everything and make it into one big fraction. So a squared plus 4a plus 3, two numbers that multiply to 3 and add to 4 are positive 3 and positive 1. A squared plus a, those have an a in common, so that's when I'm going to GCF out. Sorry, those are a little scrunched there. I'll space that out a little bit for you. And now that everything's on multiplication, you can reorder, but it's not necessary. We can cancel our a plus 3's. We can cancel our a plus 1's. And we can cancel 1a with the a cubed on top. So our final answer is just either a satisfying or a frustrating a squared, depending on what you like. Alright, I think that's all I'll do on this video, and I'll do some solving equations on the next one.